What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Boleros. Sam here with the Sultan of Sando, Mr. Gablim.
Let's go!
So, we didn't have a game yesterday, Wednesday. We took a break, pero marami pa rin nag-uusap about the UAAP. Some burning questions from people. You know the main topic, Gab, di ba, na pinag-usapan ng mga tao. Spitgate. It's still Spitgate. We haven't heard the news yet, but we will talk about it in a bit since we didn't get to talk much about it during our UP Lasal review. And then after, we'll talk about some burning questions, but after that, we will be reading some of your questions for us. We really appreciate the people sending in their questions. There are a lot to go through. We'll go over some of them later. The rest will try to answer the rest of the season. Okay? Medyo marami, guys. So thank you. We
We'll
appreciate
save
it.
some for Maui. Yun yung ano eh.
Oo
Kasi
nga. May mga...
yung wala si Maui eh. Yung mas maganda ko rin si Maui. Kasi yung maganda yung questions, honestly.
Maganda yung questions. Lots of great questions, guys. We appreciate it. So,
But before we start with the questions, Sams, I do want to give a shout out because I did meet one of our subscribers, si Joaquin, who I met during the Ateneo NU game in MOA. I did forget to shout him out in our previous episodes because we were too concentrated on the sponsors and how to integrate the sponsors. But Joaquin, shout out to you, man. And to Sam Trevino, our batchmate, who reminded me to shout him out. So, Sam Trevino, shout out to you, man.
salamat, Sam. Basket sa Sabado, Sam.
Sam.
Okay, game. Let's get started. Burning questions muna for the UAAP. I'll throw the first question, Gab. And we have to talk about the hottest team. I think I can say they're the hottest team now. They're the team with the longest running win streak since natalo si UP. We're going to talk about UE. And the question is, given the first round performance of UE and being in solo third, are you convinced now, Gab, that UE can secure a twice-to-beat advantage? Can they secure a twice-to-beat advantage?
Woo! Now, am I convinced that they can secure it? No. I'm not convinced yet that they can secure it. We will see this Saturday.
I agree.
A lot of things have to go right for UE for them to secure the twice to beat advantage. If they do, that's gonna be crazy.
That's
so
crazy,
one day they have to beat one of UE or one of LaSalle or UP. They have to beat one of them and then beat the remaining teams. Assuming LaSalle and UP beat the other teams because they're that superior, they will have to battle each other, and one of them is gonna lose. So if one of them loses and they have the quotient either against UP or they have now beaten LaSalle, they will move into the second spot. But that's a lot to ask. Yes,
the easiest would be beating LaSalle this Saturday. I mean, sure na yun. If you beat LaSalle this Saturday, even if you and then you win against all the weak teams, at least kung mag-tie ka with LaSalle, for sure above ka na kay LaSalle.
Yeah.
Ideally.
So this Saturday is gonna be a big game. This Saturday is gonna be a big test for UE if they're really going to battle for that twice to beat advantage. Because let's just put it this way: they have hot and cold streaks. We've seen games where they're hot against LaSalle, against Ateneo in the fourth quarter, but we've also seen stretches where they're really cold, where they can't buy a bucket, where Precious Momoway is being defended really well, and the other guys can't knock it down from the outside. That's gonna be a tough ask for the other guys to keep shooting that well on a consistent basis. But if they can defend the way they defended against Ateneo, against who was the one they recently beat?
Adamson.
Adamson,
Adamson.
if they defend on that level, I'm confident that they can have a chance of securing that twice to beat advantage. Uh, Now, a lot of their wins were close. A lot can happen in the UAAP. We don't know who can catch fire on a specific day in a specific game in the UAAP. So I'm to answer the question talaga, I'm back at it. No, I'm not as how should I say this? Confident that they can secure it because beating Alasal or Alasal again and a UP is a tough ask for 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 UE. But who knows? Ikaw, Sam, confident ka ba? Kasi ako hindi eh.
Hindi. Iba kasi, 'di ba? We're talking about twice to beat versus securing the final four. If you ask me, securing the final four, looks like you can really do it, and they're in solo third right now, so they're in a good position. But being in the top two, ang hirap talaga. And tama ka, a lot of it will rely on what will happen this Saturday. I think, if they beat Lasal this Saturday, that sort of proves na, okay, they really have the confidence, they have all the momentum going their way, and that can really help in taking UE to the next level. But, Lasal is also coming from beating UP, diba? So their confidence is super high. We'll see this Saturday. Pero if you do the math kasi, they have to beat, tama ka Gab, at least Lasal or UP, and then what? Basically sweep the rest of the round. Kasi two losses na sila eh. Even if they beat Lasal or UP, that would just put either one of those teams into sa two losses din, 'di ba? So they also have to rely on whoever they beat must also lose to, let's say if they beat Lasal, Lasal has to lose to UP probably, like that's the next chance na matatalo Lasal, 'di ba?
Yep.
So they have to rely on external factors, I would say. Kasi saying that unless they sweep the second round, which is, I'm hyped on on UE. I think they're a lock for the Final Four. Pero saying that UE will sweep the second round, I don't think so. That's a sablay, kumbaga, for me, kung sweeping the second round. So,
The other scenario, Sam, is what if one of the other five teams beat a UP or a Lasal? Highly
I,
unlikely. I mean, I wouldn't bet
unlikely.
on it.
Yeah. But yun, it's an external factor, diba? So I think that's the problem with this one. Okay, sige. Moving on. Next question. Gab, sige, siguro ikaw naman magtanong.
All right. Our next question, and a lot of people have been reacting to this, Sammy. Is the second round schedule better than the first round?
Oh, yeah. So if dun sa mga hindi pa aware, if you saw the news and if you saw the schedule, they adjusted the second round schedule so that games now are at 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. And it's been very
And 5
controversial.
game days na,
And
not
then
6.
five
5
na,
game days.
yeah, so why it got adjusted earlier is because they removed one game, diba? So instead of like 2 juniors games, 2 women's games, 2 men's games, I think it's just 5 games per day. Kaya na-adjust ng mas maaga yung scheduling. I think if you just look at it from yung scheduling ng men's, which is like the 4 p.m. and 6 p.m., yung 30 minutes earlier na yon, I think that will make a huge difference. I think from that perspective, zooming in on that,
Not all men's games are 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. Sam, ha? May mga 12 noon.
Okay, we're getting there. So yung late games, I think that's better. Yung other scheduling changes nga na nakita natin, 'di ba? So you mentioned it, Gab. Some men's games 12 noon. You know what? Okay. That's fine. We mentioned na sabi natin, it's for students. So students baka better for students to watch earlier. For us, maybe not as convenient, but that's fine. That's okay. We've had that last year when we had the 4 game days. 10 a.m. as early as 10 a.m. may games na tayo. So that's okay. I think what I like about that though is may it also gives the other divisions parang specifically in women's division may prime time slot sila because I think what may certain schedules 'di ba na yung women's yung later if I remember correctly. So I think that's a good opportunity then for the women's team to have that prime time slot. So I'm open to this schedule. Um we'll see. We'll probably discuss this maybe later on in the round after my experience natin. But what I like about this, and this is a shout out to the UAAP, is they're very flexible. They're open to
That's
adjustment.
what's
Because
what I was gonna say. At least they're listening.
they're trying. They're listening and they're trying. They're adjusting. Iba-iba na. We've experienced last season. We've experienced the first round. This is another schedule changing. So they listen, they adjust. Um, they're flexible, di ba? I think someone asked this question from one of the commenters. We'll shout you out later. I think we have that. Although, one thing lang, I was surprised about the venues. And maybe that's the price that you have to pay for the schedule change. I don't know why they decided to do those venues. Some are in UST Gym, some are in Phil Oil. Yeah, I think yun. Gab, what do you think?
Ako, that's my take. At least the UAAP is listening. Diba? At least they're not deaf to what their fans or what their followers
Yeah.
are
Kudos
saying.
to them.
Yeah, kudos to them that they're actually following the social media platforms. They're actually uh, reading the articles or baka nakikinig sila sa Boleros. Diba?
Lahat na lang nakikinig sa Boleros eh. No?
sana. Baka
Sana.
nakikinig sa Boleros that the late games, the late end times of the games are pretty stressful and did not bode well for the UAP. A lot were complaining, diba, about games ending at 9:30 in the evening, 10 in the evening. Diba? It wasn't a good look, diba? Especially with the length of the game, especially the men's games. It was really tiring for the players and the fans alike. So at least they're trying to solve that. Now, with regards to the 12 noon games, I think a lot of them also are weekends. So I'm not sure about that. But from what I remember from looking at the schedule, I think a lot of the 12 noon men's games are on weekends. So maybe that's friendlier for us professionals, no? Or those in the working class, diba? Who need to work on a weekday, diba? So, but yeah, from the venue side, I don't know why they put it in smaller venues. Is it because konti lang nanonood sa Araneta nung first round? Is that why they chose smaller venues?
Baka scheduling conflict because of the schedule change. I
Baka
don't
rin
know.
scheduling conflict. I mean, I think in season 85 we did get some games in Inares, in Antipolo.
Mm.
Last season, or was that last? No, that was season 85. Last season, I don't recall if we had a game
May
in a
UST din ba
smaller.
last season? I think
Wala. Ay,
wala
yeah,
ba?
meron.
Parang
There
meron.
was a
Parang
US.
meron.
There was. But I think it was like one day. One day, I do remember the LaSalle UE game where Raven Cortez broke out was in the UST gym. So, yeah, I mean, kung students talaga ang target nila, the UST gym is a perfect place. But I do wonder if this has anything to do with attendance during the first round games. That's why they chose uh, smaller arenas. But let's see how it works out. I'm just glad that the UAP is listening. I do hope the games start on time. Yun naman
Mm.
talaga yung, again, no, we could change the start times all we want, but if we don't change the length of the games, we're still gonna get games that end late. That's been the problem. TV
Unless
timeouts.
OT. Unless may OT, no? But
Yung
yeah,
TV
let's
timeouts,
TV
yung baka
time.
naman, UAAP. Yun naman
Wala
yung
na.
tanggalin natin.
Asa ka pa. Asa ka pa. But let's give them a chance. Sige, moving on. Next question. Marami tayong questions today. This one's for you, Gab, because this is a Ateneo NU question. Two of your favorite teams. Will Coach Tab, they're two of the bottom three teams. So my question for you, Gab, is will Coach Tab or Coach Jeff let the young guys lose in round 2? Kasi medyo nasa bottom na sila eh. Medyo alanganin na yung chances nila to make it to the Final Four eh. Maybe it's time to let the young guys lose? Give them more playing time, experience?
It's a very good question. And my answer to both is probably no. I'll, I'll, I'll
Given
start
the
first.
history of the two coaches, no?
Oh, given the history of the two coaches and their coaching style, medyo old school tong dalawang coaches na to. I doubt it. But there are encouraging signs. I'll start first with Coach Tab and Ateneo. We did see more minutes from Kyle Gamber in the last game. Nabawasan ng konti ang minutes ni Sean Ketevis. May we saw more from Kyle Ong. I don't know if that's a good thing, but we did. So there are good signs, but I doubt Coach Tab is gonna quote unquote tank the season, right? Because basically experiment and play the young guys. He's again he's an old school coach. We know how he is. He's gonna try to win every game, no matter if they're in the Final Four race or not. He is going to try to win every game. He's gonna pull off all the stops to win every game. I don't think he's just gonna wave the white towel and just play all young guys, just essentially bench Kitevis and Kuhn. Although that we've been clamoring for that, I don't think he will do that. I still think he will run majority, perhaps the same guys, the same rotation as in the first round, and run with the same guys. It as much as I don't like it, that's how Coach Tab is. He's gonna try to win every game, and if he thinks that playing his vets that much minutes is gonna win them a game, then that's what he's gonna do. Coach Jeff, here's one thing about NU: they're still in the running for the Final Four, so I still think he's gonna stick to his guns, to his random rotations, to his deep pull early rotations, the guys that he likes to pull early, sila Humamo, sila Garcia, kahit sina Jello Santiago, si Paul Francisco, si PJ, if they make a mistake or make one or two mistakes, they're getting pulled. I
You
still
don't
think
deserve to play.
I still think that's the way he's gonna coach. Now, we've seen him now for what? This is his fourth season already with NU as the head coach. He has not changed his coaching style. He's still very strict coach, a hard to please coach. So I doubt we will see him change. Although a lot of NU fans and UAP fans and us alike think that that he should run with the young guys more, like Kumamoy, Garcia. Those two are obviously very talented players, but they see limited short bursts of court time. Maybe not the best formula if you want to develop talent or if you want to find a replacement for Kian Baclaan. Because let's face it, we know who Steve Nash Enriquez is already in the UAAP. He gets hot from time to time, but he's not gonna be a big time scorer each and every game. And NU struggles to score. They're gonna need scoring. I do think he needs to play si Paul Francisco more, si Jello Santiago more. But will we see that? Will we still see Jolo Manansala, Jake Figueroa lineups, which really lack a ton of shooting? We probably will, based on Coach Jeff. But I don't think that's gonna get them far, especially with no inside presence. Medyo mahirap for NU. I do think they need to Coach Jeff needs to embrace a more spacious uh, offensive lineups that give Jake Figueroa you more space to operate. Sammy.
Yeah, I agree. Slim chance. Baka better pa, the young guys will get more playing time kung tambakan nila yung kalaban nila. And then, may garbage time. Baka yun, higher chance pa na maglaro yung mga young guys doon. Or foul trouble. Someone gets into foul trouble, you yank them out, and then they get hot. So, that's probably what. But knowing these two coaches, tama ka, old school sila, they wanna win. Okay, moving on. Next question. Gab.
All right. Our last question, our last of the burning questions is, of course, who's going to be the fourth team? Diba? We've talked about UP LaSalle. We kind of know that UP LaSalle and UE, or probably know they're going to be in the mix for that twice to beat advantage. But who can slide in there as the fourth team? Sammy, who are you betting on?
Adamson is going to kill me for saying this kasi I'm going against Adamson again. As much as I want to go for Adamson because I always get killed for my Adamson, for ranking Adamson low, for underrating Adamson. I still have to stick with UST. I still have to stick with my gut feel. I think it's going to be UST. We've talked about Motong Kara a lot. He's playing like an MVP. He might be the best FSA by the end of the season. Could be the best FSA. And he's playing with the point guard that is starting to finally get his groove back in Fortsky Padrigao. You called out his shooting, Gab, his field goal percentage, his efficiency during the start of the season. He wasn't really that efficient, especially yung shooting niya. But the past few
Wasn't
games...
really. He wasn't efficient at all. He was
wasn't
terrible.
efficient. He was terrible. Sige. But the past few games, I think he's getting
back.
his groove back. I think he's back. So I think the more games he plays with this team, the better it will be. We still haven't seen the other guys other than him, Mo, and Nick Caballero. We haven't really seen the other guys break out yet. So there's still a chance for UST to get better. To be fair to them, they kept their games against UP close. Was it close with LaSalle? Parang, oo. Nakalimutan ko.
It was for three quarters,
diba?
until
Ganun, diba? Same
Motong
story.
Kara got his fourth foul.
Got into foul trouble. So, I think
for 2 quarters, and then Motong Kara got his fourth foul, and Mike Phillips essentially ate them alive. Go ahead.
May gaganda pa yung laro ng UST. Let's just put it that way. So, I'm picking UST for my fourth team.
Wow. I can't believe na hindi ina-underestimate mo na naman ang Adamson.
Sorry,
Falcons.
Adamson. Sorry.
Pare.
Sorry talaga. Sorry. Huwag niyo akong pahiyain, please.
Okay, so who's gonna be the fourth team? I think we can count, although they're still in the running, I think we can count Ateneo and FEU out. I mean, from the way they've been playing in the first round, I don't think anyone is going to bet on them to make the Final Four. Essentially sweep the second round and give them a chance, or go 6-1 or something. No way. I don't think anyone... Ako, Atenista, I'm not going to bet Ateneo is going to sweep or go 6-1 in the second round. Even if you're waving that shirt, no way. FEU from...
Magpapakalbo si Maui kung masweep ng Ateneo. Kailangan masweep nila.
Magpapakalbo daw si Maui kung masweep ng Ateneo second round. So mag-cheer na kayo for Ateneo. Yeah, so FEU, I don't think so. From the way they've been playing, I think this is going to be a developmental season for them. And but we can see some surprises. Malay mo. NU, we just said it. I don't think Coach Jeff Napa is going to change the way he rotates. I don't think he's going to change the way they play. They were without an FSA. Although they did have a lot of winnable close games in the first round, I am not confident that they can essentially go 5-2 or 6-1 in the second round and then give them a chance at the final four. I just it's hard to bet on that. Oh, it's possible, but it's hard to bet on that. So I'm essentially ruling those three teams out. So it's gonna be UST or Adamson, and I have to pick Adamson. I really do. I
Always loyal to
I
Adamson.
I, I am because I really like how they play, how disciplined they play. You
Totoo
know,
yan. Totoo yan.
I love defense as much as offense is the flashier part of the game. I do love seeing good defense, and they have been a solid defensive team all season. Now, are they gonna be a contender or have the ceiling of a contender like a UST does? Because they UST on paper is much more talent than Adamson. I don't think so. I I think their ceiling is fourth team in the final four. That's it, or the battle over the fourth. That's as has been the story with Adamson for the past 3 seasons. It's that. Uh, but I do like how Coach Nash is putting more touches into guys like Erolon, Montua, Montebon. He's willing to bench guys like his team captains, Eli Ramos. We've seen him bench Austin Ronzone. We've seen him lean more on guys like si Anabo, Kalisay. Uh, but the offense is still gonna be a question. I do think Coach Nash has to uh, tell Matt Erolon to be more of a Terence Romeo or an R.R. Garcia or Mike Tolomia, one of his former players. Just have a bit more, how do I say this? May pagkabuhakaw ng
Balls.
konti. You have a bit more balls to take more shots, to take more risks. He's a talented player, but he's a safe player. If I may, he takes the shots when they're available or within the role of the offense, which is good. But at times, this
Plays
Adamson
within the
team
system.
plays within the system. But at times, this Adamson team just needs someone to just take over the offense and just fuck this. I'm I'm going one on one. I'm taking the shot. They just need someone to do that. Si Montebon has shown that sometimes he can do it, but not all the time. Si Erolon, I feel like he's a much more talented offensive player than Montebon. That's just me. But he just doesn't want to take shots at times. Sometimes just he's very passive. So put me down for Adamson. I do believe in the defense of this team. Whether they can surprise a UP Lasal or even a UE, that remains to be seen. But yeah, put me down for Adamson, man. Ikaw na naman yung nag-doubt sa Adamson. Ako, forever a
I
believer
can't
ako eh.
I can't argue with you on that. Mad respect to Adamson. Okay, before we move on to our questions, obviously let's just talk about the Splitgate incident. So, latest update, 20 minutes ago, si Homer Sison, just in after meeting with the concerned parties, Rules and Discipline Committee will vote on whether or not sanctions are warranted in the alleged spitting incident involving Lasal coach Topex Robinson and UP player Raylan Torres last Sunday, with the Green Archers playing this Saturday. Read more. Playing this Saturday, a decision is expected to come down tonight or sometime tomorrow. So probably by the time you're watching this video, there might have been a decision. Pero just what would be the implications of this sanction if ever, Gab? Lasal is playing UE. Probably if masuspend man si Coach Topex, that would be that game. That's a must-win game for Lasal. Uh, any other reactions to possible sanctions for Coach Topex and or Raylan Torres?
Okay, so this has been essentially all the talk about the UAAP the past couple of days. Essentially, everyone has had their say on this. Doug Kramer has been pulled into this discussion. You know, diba?
Yeah.
That clip has been pulled from the digital
Sobrang
baul. And
daming nagpadala ng videos na yun sa akin.
yeah, but let me start by saying this. Spitting with bad intent, of course you can spit on the floor. I don't know if you have blood or something. But spitting on a person with bad intent has no place in basketball or in any sport whatsoever. Diba? That is obvious disrespect. It's disgusting. I mean, bro, just don't do that.
Galing
Uh,
nga tayo sa COVID eh.
like it's disrespectful. It's disgust. It's really disgusting, and it's it's a bad example. It's a bad example for those who watch the game, especially for kids. Diba? You see someone
Yeah.
doing something like that. That's not. And the way UP and LaSalle's bench reacted to it, it's not a bad look. It's not a good look.
It's not a good
For
look.
the UAP, yung for basketball.
And for the
So,
school that you're representing.
and for the school that you're representing. So, I just want to state that. Now, whether it occurred or not, again, that's what we're about to find out. Now, there have been a ton of videos circulating online, the past history of Coach Topex Robinson, baka nandudura daw sa PBA. Who knows? All the videos I've seen are from faraway angles. How can you see someone spit from that range? Now, uh, it's for now it's essentially he said versus he said. Eh. Alam mo yun? Parang testimony lang eh. This is from what Raylan Torres said based on the post game or based on the Tiebreaker Times article that I read. May naramdaman siya na may dumura sa kanya, and he said, hindi na nakita na may actual tao na dumura sa kanya, but he said that Coach Topex was the only person in the vicinity or near him, kaya he assumed it was Coach Topex. Coach Topex vehemently denied this. Now, he did acknowledge that there were words being exchanged between him and Raylan. So take that what you will.
Sweet
So,
nothings.
like basketball. I mean, trash talk. But I don't want to say that Coach Topex is guilty or Raylan Torres is lying because we don't really know. But what we do know, Sam, is if LaSalle and UP round 1 was must-watch TV, now it's even more what must-watch TV.
It's personal.
Yung sabi niyo ni Francis
Ni
Lopez,
Francis
diba?
Lopez, yeah. Yung
It's
posting.
now personal. But I do hope that nothing extremely violent comes out of this.
Mhm.
I do hope we don't get anything of that.
And for the fans, no? For fans of both schools.
Oh,
Peace lang
oh,
muna.
wag naman. Wag naman. I know medyo mainit ang mga dugo ng mga tao yung coming from that. I know a lot of
it's
UP fans are
understandable.
angry. It's understandable. I mean, RV Bringas. Natawa nga ako. You brought up the article and it said the Sultan of Spit.
Sultan of Spit, RV Bringas. The OG.
The old. So, yun lang. It's gonna be a must-watch game in the second round, LaSalle versus UP. I do hope that both teams by that time have put this incident behind them. And whatever punishment comes or whatever non-punishment comes, I do hope that we move on from it. Now, of course, it's easier to say kasi hindi naman kami kakampi sa LaSalle or sa UP. Paano kung nangyari yun sa inyo? Mag-move on ba kayo? Obviously, it's gonna be harder for us if it happened to our team or not. But I do hope, as a guy who plays basketball, I do hope that nothing seriously violent comes out. Walang sapakan or rumble or whatever comes from
Let
this.
their game do the talking. Ganun for round 2.
Play basketball. Yan lang, Sammy.
You covered it. I think Um, I, I'm circling that matchup, that LaSalle UP matchup in the second round. Uh, I do understand yung feelings ng fans. Syempre, I'm in the UP circles din. So, marami talagang galit. And I do understand it. Um, just trying to be fair din siguro to everyone by waiting for the results. So, guys, we tried to delay this episode. We were supposed to record yesterday, but we delayed it just because we were hoping na may results na by today. Unfortunately, wala. So, abangan na lang natin yung results and maybe we can talk more about it once the results are out. But if they are going to sanction people, probably Coach Topex will not be there for Saturday's game against UE. Hopefully, UE can capitalize and, start that winning streak and get that twice to beat advantage.
Anong start that winning streak? Continue that winning
Continue that
streak.
winning streak. Sorry, sorry. My bad, UE, my bad. Oy, that's it for our burning questions. Before we go, we want to go through some of your questions. So, shout out muna before we talk about your questions. Shout out muna dun sa guy that, or dun sa person that, sorry, the person that suggested this episode. Si, sorry if I'm butchering your name. Pai Tipay. Hey Boleros, thanks for another great episode. Baka pagbalik ni Maui, pwede kayo gumawa special episode getting to know the Boleros hosts. I'm sure a lot like me are interested to know the history behind your friendship and fandom and how the podcast came about. Hey, thanks. Thank you for that suggestion. So we are going through some of your questions. We asked you to send in questions. Let's answer some of them. Sige, let's get started. Ito, maganda to, Gab. I've been thinking a lot. So, from Malaroy Dam. Sorry. I don't know how to pronounce these names.
Malaray
Okay,
or dumb or whatever.
the question is, I've been thinking a lot recently about KQ and call me crazy, but is there a chance that KQ could get drafted in the NBA? Think about it. He's already arguably a top 5 pure Filipino player right now, and he's only gonna get better as he finishes college. Just a thought that there might be a chance. Gab, KQ to the NBA. By the way, hindi na ata siya pwede i-draft. Tama ba?
Yeah.
That's what Maui told us.
Yeah, so since KQ is classified as an international player, he doesn't have any American blood. He's 23 now, so he's essentially not eligible for the NBA draft. So he's essentially a free agent once he leaves LaSalle, whenever that might be. He's now a free agent. He can't enter the NBA draft. So we'll rephrase this question: is can KQ make it to the NBA? As much as I want to see a Filipino player, a pure-blooded Filipino player play in the NBA, Gilas eligible Filipino player make it to the NBA. I don't see it right now for KQ, and I do have a couple of points. One, as I said, he's already 23. And let's say if he leaves LaSalle for this season and tries to make it to the next season, he'll be 24. That's old in NBA years. That is old already. A lot of NBA scouts look for younger talents, guys who haven't reached their prime yet. At 24, he's 2 to 3 years away from his prime athletic years, prime basketball years. Usually that's from 27 to 29 or 30. So if I'm an NBA scout, am I willing to sign, or an NBA manager, NBA president, am I willing to invest a roster spot in a 24-year-old rookie? That in my second point, has essentially is unproven in a highly competitive league. I mean, I don't think the NBA considers the UAAP a top tier, highly competitive league. KQ is dominating in the UAAP, yes, but when he's risen up to higher level competition. Gilas, for example, he's been what? A bench player. He's he's been mostly a bench player in Gilas. He hasn't gotten big rotation
Good point.
minutes ever in his Gilas in his games in the senior men's Gilas pool, diba? So it's a tough investment for an NBA team. Now, as I said with Kai Soto, now if an NBA team, let's say, is tanking and just want to get fans in the building, or they want to get jersey sales or increase their popularity, they can get KQ, and I'm sure a lot of the Filipino people will start being fans of your team
Count
because you
me
have
in.
diba? That is the only possible logical way I can see an NBA team, an NBA management just zoning in on KQ and say, okay, you can be part of our team. But it really depends. There are still a lot of holes in KQ's game despite how good he's become. No, he's become a decent 3-point shooter. He can now score on all three levels. His handles though are not that great. He's not, well, if you compare him to other players in the NBA, the young players, he's not as athletic as, I mean, you could just look at Francis Lopez. He's way less athletic than Francis. So that goes against him. There's still a ton of holes in his game, and again, I do think he has to go pro to another league first.
Mm.
More competitive league first. Maybe if he can make it to the Euro League and show his wares there, prove that he is capable of being a top tier contributor in a higher tier league, in a more competitive league, then maybe if he dominates in the Japan B League, if he ever gets to play there, then maybe. But at that point, how old will he be? Diba? He'll be on the wrong side. He'll be nearing 30 already once he does that. Diba? He'll be at 26, 27 and whatnot. So do am I ruling it out? No, but I see it as a far chance. No, yung as in the reasons I already mentioned. Sammy, do you think Cake you can make it to the NBA?
May chance. I agree. I think you pretty much covered everything. I think there is a chance, but mahirap. And I think we're going to talk about like someone that from Asia that has a chance or is playing in the NBA right now later in a succeeding question. So mas pag-uusapan natin yan because I think you made a couple of great points, and I think yung number one din talaga for me is the age. The age is going to be a big factor, especially for NBA teams, di ba? Pag 23 ka kasi, tas rookie ka, ano na yun eh. Dapat parang sure thing ka na eh. Alam mo yun, parang dapat set na yung...
Dapat rotation player ka na by the time you're 23 and you're in an NBA
dapat
court.
medyo sure ka na. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Next question. Ba tayo gumana? There you go. From Alan Patricio Tandang 6291, as of season 87, first round, do you guys think that the UAAP is as exciting as the previous seasons? Given the recruitment issues, transfer of players, new UAAP rules, etc. Hope that you'll discuss this during the UAAP break. We are going to discuss it right now. This is a really good question, and
A really good question.
the previous, if you think about the previous UAAP seasons, they were also exciting and they were starting to get competitive. Last season, nakita natin, nag-battle for Final Four pa yung Ateneo and Adamson. But I have to say that I think season 87 is more exciting and unpredictable. And I think it's because of the unpredictableness of this season, kaya siya nagiging mas exciting. You have to start with the off-season. All the off-season movements. Start with Ray Remogat. He was saying na he wants to stay in UE, blah, 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 and then moves to
He
UE.
remains committed though to UE.
Remains
Yung sabi
committed
niya,
in
diba?
UE. Kian Baklaan. We didn't expect Kian Baklaan to move from NU to LaSalle because he was already the star in NU. He was getting all the minutes. He was their main go-to guy. He left. Jacob Cortez. We didn't expect Jacob Cortez after winning a championship in Beda going to LaSalle. Yung and obviously yung pinaka ano dyan is the Mason Amos bomb, 'di ba? Yun talaga pasabog. So off-season pa lang napaka unpredictable na ng UAAP. When you look at the teams, actually off-season din, Ateneo not winning a single game against the UAAP teams in Phil Oil and in Pinoy Liga was surprising. The standings, FEU performing well in the off-season and then tanking or being in the bottom this in the first round was unpredictable. We ranked them high. Pero they're at the bottom. And the biggest surprise of all, UE. I don't think anyone predicted UE to be this high, to be in solo third after the first round. So, yung yung pagiging unpredictable nung season na to, from the off-season up to the first round, it's been fun. It's been very exciting. And we can't even predict the Final Four because of lahat ng gulo. Sabi mo, NU still has a chance. If you think about it, NU still has a chance. So, ang daming pwede mangyari. That's why I think it's exciting. Gap.
I guess for me, it depends on where you're coming from or who you're cheering for. Like, hindi, like, if you're from FEU, for example, yeah, you got hype, but now you see your team losing.
This is a horrible
Diba?
season.
Oh, it's a horrible season. It's not exciting for me anymore. So, diba, if you went into the UAP season excited for your FEU team, now you're probably not interested in watching games. Same for Ateneans. I attend most Ateneo games as I have for the past 20 plus years of my life, but not everyone is like me. There are casual Ateneo fans who see, teams losing, I'm not watching. Diba? Maratalo ng mga Ateneo eh. So, huwag tayo manood. And you see that. I mean, the crowds are smaller now for Ateneo games. Only ako and a lot of my hardcore Ateneo friends watch the game. For me, it's still exciting because I do watch I do like seeing the development or the non-development and the rotations and perhaps the future of the Blue Eagles, but some fans don't see it that way. Diba? They don't like it when the team lose, so why would I watch? So it depends, but for me, yes, it is. Again, sabi mo nga, Sam, it is unpredictable. For the new rules, it does give us something to hate. It does give us something to be angry about. I mean, we were angry about the new eligibility rules of the UAAP, so it does give us something to talk about. Like, what is this?
Pala, may new rules pa.
No. Like, do you remember when the Pingoy rule got implemented? That was exciting for a lot of fans. And it was also, it riled up a lot of fans also. Like, what are you doing? Why are you preventing student athletes from making a free choice? So the same thing is happening here. And we're angry. Well, some are angry, some are not. So there's discourse about it. So that makes it more exciting. The games are usually more exciting. We've gotten 2 buzzer beaters already. We've gotten big fourth quarters. Early on in the season, there were a ton of blowouts. I do hope we don't see any more of them because honestly, who likes watching a blowout? But yeah, Season 87 is looking pretty promising. And for the moves in the off-season or the lot of transfers, again, I am with the students and the players on this. If they choose to transfer, that's their choice. The school and us fans, we don't own the player, the student athletes. So We love trades in the NBA. We love free agent signings. Siguro this is the counterpart if you're following the UAAP. All of these transfers that's happening. Uh, it gives us a lot of things to talk about. Especially here in Philippine basketball. Where actually, I find the UAAP, the style of play of the UAAP, and where the game is now in the UAAP, a lot more exciting than some other leagues which I would not name. Sammy.
Okay, let's end it there, yung question na yun. But I do agree. Ako, I do find this season interesting because it's quite unpredictable. I like this next question. I think you'll love this question, Gab. Um, what's your most question for Gab? What's your most expensive shoe you've ever bought? Ha ha ha. Sorry, I missed your I missed taking a screenshot of your name. Apologies, but thank you for this question. I think Gab would love to answer this.
Okay, so just to clarify, and Sam knows this better than most people, I don't buy expensive shoes.
Kuripot yan. Hindi, joke lang.
I am a bargain hunter. I search for sales. Delayed gratification is a thing for me. So maghihintay ako ng sale kahit may shoe na gustong-gusto kong bilhin, hihintayin ko ang sale. Okay? Alam ni Sammy to because he's just like me. I'm sure of it, he's just like me. Maghihintay ng sale yan. So because during my high school and college and even my med school years, I did not have a ton of cash. Wala naman ako masyadong pera. So I can't afford to buy the really expensive stuff. I can't afford to buy Jordans. I couldn't afford to buy Jordans back then. I can't buy LeBron shoes. I couldn't buy Kobe's. So
Same.
I had to search for bargain stuff. Stuff which I can afford and with, na makakain pa rin ako on a daily basis. So, yun ang hanapin ko. So, talaga maghihintay ako ng sale. I'll go to department stores, I'll go to malls. So the most expensive shoe I've ever bought is actually the shoes from my wedding. Those were a pair of oxblood double monk straps that I got from Godfather Shoes. I think I showed them in our last episode in our sponsored segment. So those were the most expensive shoes I've ever bought. Those probably are the only shoes I bought at full price. I have, and just to note, I still have a lot of pairs of shoes. I have a ton of pairs, but they're either gifts or they're always on sale. Yung alam ni Sammy to. May hangganan ako eh. May hangganan ako. Dati nung hindi pa ganun kalaki yung inflation, sabi ko, basta below 3K, okay yan sa akin. Kung above 3K, hindi ko bibilin yan. Diba? Ganun ako eh. So yun.
Cool.
Yung mga Jordans na pinakita ko last week, those were gifts.
Yeah.
I didn't buy those.
Shout out to nagre-regalo ng shoes, especially yung best friend ni Gab.
Oh, shout out to my best friend. He always gives me many pairs. So
same size kayo, 'di ba? Tama ba?
Same size ako. So, yun, actually bargain hunter ako. Sobrang kuripot akong tao. Yung kahit ngayon na medyo may sarili na akong pera, hindi pa rin ako gumagastos ng malaki sa sapatos. Hindi ko kaya. Hindi pa rin kaya. Sanay kasi ako na walang pera eh. So, hanggang ngayon, kahit na may pera ako, yung gusto ko pa rin magharap ng sale. Kaya hihintayin ko talaga yung mga 10-10, 11-11, 12-12 sale ng kung anong mga stores dyan na online. It helps na alam ko na size 11 ako. Sure ako size 11 ako no matter what brand it is. It helps. Sammy, I'm interested. What's your most expensive shoe? I don't know this.
Okay, sige. Most expensive off the top of my head, probably a pair of New Balance 991s made in the UK. Yung ALD version, yung Eme Leon d'Or. I do have a cool story about that. I think I bought it like mga 16K or something like that. Yeah, I do have a cool story about that kasi right after I bought that, I think I bought it buntis na yung wife ko. So, I have a kid. So, I think I bought it buntis na yung wife ko. Right after, umasa lang ako, nag-sign up ako sa medyo auction pa ata yun eh. So, not auction, but raffle. You're not sure if you'll get it. But I got it, so I had to pay for it. Then, right after I bought it, sabi ko, shucks, ang mahal nito, magkaka-baby ako. So, nagka-buyer's remorse ako. So, I posted it online, sold it for like a decent price naman, di naman crazy resale value. The guy that ended up buying it is a sneaker YouTuber, Seth Manlapas. If you guys know him, he ended up buying it from me. So introduced himself. Sabi ko, hey, I know you. I think I know you. Tapos sabi ko, ikaw ba yung YouTuber? And then yun. So he ended up buying it from me. So shout out to Seth Manlapas for saving me from using. Actually, maganda siya. Trip ko siya. That's why I bought it. But from saving me from spending that much on a pair of shoes, I'm sort of kind of like Gab before, but to be honest, now I've I've lessened my sneaker collection or my shoe collection, pero I'm trying to focus more on like value or quality, or baka mas na hype lang ako. So like the other one na expensive that I use a lot, Salomon's XT6 Gore-Tex version. Normally, I love Gore-Tex shoes because I do walk a lot or travel a lot and commute and maulan, rain, snow, whatever. I like Gore-Tex kasi waterproof. I think binentahan kita ng Gore-Tex shoes noon, Gab, if I
Yeah,
remember
you did.
correctly.
You did. You did. Some
But yeah, so
the
Salomon's.
Adidas EQT.
EQT, there you go.
Yeah.
Matching pa tayo nun eh. Matching pa tayo
I
nun.
still have them. I still have them.
Wala na sa akin, nabenta ko na. But that's it. ALDs and then Salomon's. Salomon's yung
Uh,
talagang ginamit
One
ko.
more thing about shoes. I don't ride the hype. Hindi ako ma-hype. If shoes are being hyped and they're selling for like 20,000 to 30,000 or whatnot, hindi ako ganun. I mean, I'd rather
Same.
spend my
I don't
money
buy resale naman.
yung somewhere else. You know, I don't buy resale. I don't buy mga hype shoes. Nah, save your money for something else. Well, that's just me. Next question, Sam.
Okay. It's almost an hour, so let's just do rapid fire. We do have I think two more
Let's save that
questions.
for when Maui's here. Yung question na yan about...
Okay. Sige. So, kasi this is an interesting question din. Kinda related to the KQ one. But sige. Eto, specifically to may Sam, may Gab. Rapid fire, quick life intro. What you do for a living, course in college. Gab, did you ever consider going to UP for your undergrad?
Okay, quick life intro, what I do for a living. I am a physician, doktor ako. My course in college was health sciences in Ateneo. What I do for a living, well, I am a physician. So I do some consult on the side, but I do work in the pharmaceutical industry. So let's just put it at that. Did I ever consider going to UP? Actually, my first choice when I was applying for college was UP. Because main consideration, mas mura sa UP eh.
Yep. Hindi pa libre nung time natin. Matanda na tayo.
Hindi pa libre ang time natin, pero mas mura sa UP. So my first choice was UP. I only applied to 3 schools, UP Ateneo and UST. My first choice was UP. Because of the cost, I didn't come from a rich family, hindi ako mayaman. So UP talaga yung first choice ko. But Ateneo gave me a scholarship, an academic scholarship. Yes, yung matalino ako, hindi lang mukhang matalino, pero matalino. So so Ateneo did give me a scholarship, and that and I was essentially free.
And you really had to say matalino ka.
So, as a background, shout out to Gab's wife for saying that. But I do have to back up Gab on that. Kasi, to be fair, Gab helped me survive math in high school. Nagpapaturo ako sa kanya dun sa after school, yung SSP namin, si Gab nagtuturo. Sabi ko, Gab, paki-explain nga tong algebra sa akin or whatever. So, I have to say, magaling nga si Gab sa math. Life intro, what do you do for a living? I do digital marketing for a living, working for a financial institution. Course in college, business ad in UP. Proud SIPA ng BAA. So, mad respects to all the BAA accounting CPA people out there kasi I did not
Hindi ka talaga
survive
yung
it.
magaling sa math, Sam.
Hindi. Wala ka na kasi. Hindi kasi sumama sa akin sa UP eh. Kung nandun ka siguro baka na-survive ko. Walang nagturo sa akin. Why did you choose to go to UP for undergrad? Same thing. Actually, I considered the cost. I do have 2 other siblings. They were both in Ateneo. So sabi ko, maybe to help out my parents, then cheaper to go to UP but you get the same quality education. And my parents are actually in college. They went to UP in college. So they were both from UP. One is in Manila, one is in Diliman. So, syempre may UP influence din doon. But the main selling point for me, why I went to UP, well, syempre sasabihin ko, doon ko na-meet yung wife ko, no? So, it was destiny. Pero since hindi naman siya nanonood ng episode na to, yung main reason is because walang pasok on Mondays. Sa Ateneo kasi 5 days a week ka papasok, Monday to Friday. Sa UP, walang pasok on Monday. So, ang saya ko. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, to add, pumasa ako ng UP. First choice. BS Bio and UP Diliman. So,
Magda-doctor talaga si Gabi. Anyway, opinion on the current SP's formula. This is for MVP, getting the MVP. Should efficiency be included in the computation? Gab, I think you've said your feelings about this.
yeah, it should be part of the criteria. I do think it should be similar to what the NBA does. Have a panel, have third-party members not from the team or from the media. Just vote on it. Have a certain part of the criteria be the statistical points. Yes, I think efficiency should be included, but it shouldn't be all about statistical points. And I do think that they should fix the ×2, the double counting of assists and steals, which the UAAP has not released the formula since season 85. So I think they know that a lot of people are criticizing that formula, so they stopped releasing it. But I do think that it should be a mix. No, have some objective part and have some subjective part of the MVP, because stats are just one part of the game. There's also the narrative, the eye test, what you see on the court. It's not just about what you score on the points or score on the court or what numbers you put up. There's a lot of things that go into what makes a player valuable. So I do think it has to be more than just the statistical points. But to answer your question, yes, I do think efficiency should be included. Sammy?
Yeah, agree with that. Opinion on scalping. Syempre sasagutin ko to after just saying in the previous question that I resold sneakers. But I think it's a bigger issue, diba? Parang it sucks obviously because you want like the people that want to actually watch the game to be able to buy the tickets at cost, at the actual prices. But it's not just for the UAAP, it's for everything. It's for concert tickets, it's for the NBA. Everyone is affected dito. Sa shoes, di ba? Parang may ganun na rin because there are limited quantities of shoes. People buy them, they resell them at crazy prices. It sucks. But kind of hard to prevent. The NBA can't prevent it. Paano pa natin mapreprevent yun? I have to admit though, I've purchased scalp tickets din. So, I'm scalped NBA tickets. So, hindi ako nakapanood ng NBA kung hindi ako bumiling scalp tickets. So, I don't know. I can't judge because I've resold stuff and I've bought scalp stuff din. Gab.
I've never bought scalp stuff, so I don't know. The Olivia Rodrigo concert tried to...
Big issue yun, no?
Yung tried to lessen this, no? So, yeah. I think they priced all tickets the same. Tama ba, Sammy? They did, diba? They priced all...
Yeah. I'm not sure, actually. I'm not sure.
Oh, I think they did. They priced all tickets the same, and then on your ticket is your name of who bought the tickets. So...
okay.
I don't know if that was actually so when you enter the stadium or the arena, I think you have to present a valid ID and it has to match the name of the ticket for you to enter and for your companion to enter. I don't know if that was strictly enforced during the actual Olivia Rodrigo concert. I would have wanted to watch. I'm an Olivia Rodrigo fan. I may not look like it, but I am an Olivia Rodrigo fan.
Sabi ko na nga ba hirit na ako. Inunahan mo na ako.
For those who don't know, I am a Olivia Rodrigo fan. I am a Swiftie. I've been listening to Taylor Swift since Teardrops on My Guitar, so I'm a real fan. I'm not a wild fan to watch the concerts and go abroad to watch the concerts. I'm not like that, but I do love her songs. And I'm also a Bloom. I
Bloom yan.
recently got
Oh, Bloom
into
yan.
Vini. Yeah, so uh, I I would have wanted to watch this Olivia Rodrigo concert, but again, the demand for the tickets was crazy, and there was a lot of arguing online, a lot of back and forth. So I didn't want to go through that, but I don't know really how to solve scalping. Maybe that way, yung showing a valid ID once you enter. Um, yeah, but siguro getting rid of physical tickets, maybe that might be something. Diba? Kasi if you downloaded the ticket on your phone and the scalpers can't scalp your phone. I don't know.
Daming bots eh. Parang dami din
Well,
kasing bots eh. Yung problema
yun
mo
din,
pag
yun din.
online.
Yun
Parang sa
din.
sneakers, diba daming bots. But good questions. Thank you, Net M Flow, for sharing some of your questions. Round 2 schedule, we talked about that. So, that is it for today's episode. Sorry, guys. We wanted to cover more, but it's already past 1 hour. We promise to cover the other questions when Maui gets back. So, don't worry. We saved your questions. Keep them coming. We'll try to get back to some of them later on. That's it for today's episode. Excited for this weekend. I think Gab and I will be there in this weekend's games. So we'll see you around. Please say hi. Don't be afraid to approach us. Comment below your thoughts. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you this weekend. Bye-bye.